Can you really have a British day in Singapore? The UK may be over 6,700 miles away, but today I'm going to try. A woodland walk and a full English breakfast are on the plan, and of course, it wouldn't be a day in the UK without a proper cup of tea and some classic cake. But will it really feel like a British day? Is it so much more than just what I'll eat and see? Welcome to Wanderlust. One of my favourite things to do in the UK would be to go for a woodland walk. We had this membership, it was called National Trust membership, and kind of they look after old houses and things like that, and you can go into the grounds and walk around, and loads of them have loads and loads of woodland. Now here I think like more of the walks are jungle walks, but I wanted to find a woodland walk, so I've come today to Coney Island because to me this feels a bit more like woodland as opposed to like the jungle walks. I've still got the soundtrack of the cicadas that you get everywhere, which sometimes my brain just tunes out to them now. I think I'm like really used to it, but obviously that is not a British sound. But yeah, I've come to Coney Island to see if I can enjoy a little bit of a woodland walk here today like I would in the UK. And as you can see, there's loads of trees behind me. Loads of these trees are different to the ones that you would find like on what I would mention like the jungle walks. You can have a look at our channel for other kind of walks and things that were done in end parks. But yeah, this one has a completely different feel. I'll explain a bit more as we go. So I'm noticing that the ground I'm walking on is actually making this feel a bit more British because it's just, there's mud and it's just the ground, whereas lots of the walks in Singapore are boardwalked to protect the land, to protect the animals, to protect yourself from like snakes and things that can kind of go underneath the boardwalks and things like that, and also to make them accessible for everybody, which is great. But coming here and feeling like the dirt under your feet and you've got like the stones pushing into the bottoms of your shoes, like those kind of things is making this definitely feel like more of a British walk. And I've just clocked down there's a guy with like 7 dogs. I'm guessing he's a dog walker, but you get a lot more dog walkers in these kind of natural environments in the UK, and also off leash. Like I know my mum lives near woodlands and she lets her dogs run off, but in Singapore you're not allowed to let your dogs off their leash. But this is the kind of thing that you would just see loads of people walking their dogs, running off leash, like fetching sticks and things like that. So yeah, I'm enjoying feeling like the dirt under my feet, which might be a strange thing if you're not used to it, but yeah, I think it's those tiny little things sometimes that remind us of our home. I've added some British woodland sounds so you can imagine taking a walk with me in the UK. These fence strips are actually made from fire hoses. They've been reused to make fences, which I think is just a fantastic idea rather than creating more and adding more. And so end parks have decided to reuse things that wouldn't have been used elsewhere. So I think, yeah, a really good use of them. And they look a lot better as well because they're actually kind of going like green and a bit like, well, not mouldy. Mouldy's not the word. I don't know what the word is. But they're kind of like going in with the environment. They're getting covered in plants and bugs, as am I. So they kind of blend in a bit better than like just a solid metal fence would. There's some incredible orange butterflies as well all flying around. There's one actually just by the camera at the bottom, but they are so vivid. They're absolutely beautiful. That's kind of reminding me of like springtime in the UK. I don't know if butterflies are seasonal here or not. You kind of see them around all the time actually, but in the UK it's more of like a spring, summer, more summertime thing. But the huge furs that are like leaving these little needles. Let me see if I can get one. Like these little if you can see them, these fine little sticks, fine little needles, all over the floor. And I think also like the furs, I think they're called, the things that look like Jurassic Park dinosaurs going to come out of them. They always remind me of the UK for sure. And actually where we used to live, one of the Jurassic Park or the Jurassic World movies was actually filmed in it. And I remember telling Aspen, because there was this whole area cordoned off, and I went to try and look because I wanted to see if I could see some of the dinosaurs, and put Aspen to bed that night. And she said, well, Mummy, but what if the dinosaurs escape? And I said, oh no, like, don't worry, they're locked up very safe. Was my response to that. So obviously I told her years later that there weren't actual dinosaurs in there, but yeah, they definitely remind me of Jurassic Park. So I think it's just a combination of those things, the floor, the types of plants that are here, and I think the fact that you can kind of see through the trees to different layers. Lots of the jungles here are just so dense, it feels like a big wall of plants, which I love. I'm not complaining about them at all. I love my jungle walks, but I just wanted to see if I could feel a bit of a British day today. The sun has gone behind the clouds and it is definitely cooler here, I think because it's near the coast, which is really, really lovely. I am being bitten quite a lot. I didn't bring my bug spray yet again, I always forget. But walking down this bit, you've got more of the furs on the floor. You've got the sound of gravel, which to me is just a very British thing. I don't hear that sound a lot, and when I do, it just reminds me of my nan's house. She had gravel down the side of her house, and we would have to walk down it because we would always go in the back door. I don't know why. You just always go around the back. That was quite a thing in the UK. You just use the back door, not the front door. I don't know, in my family anyway. So we'd go around the back, and just that sound of gravel just transports me straight back there. And I think it's those little things when you live away from somewhere that you've grown up with. Sometimes it's the tiny things you miss. So for me, those sounds, that walking on gravel is just, yeah, a British sound. Let me know if there's like a particular Singapore sound. You might have to like give it some consideration now that like, oh yeah, no, that is a sound that I only really hear here, and if you heard it somewhere else, you'd be like, oh yeah, like that sound totally reminds me of Singapore. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. There's this bigger open green patch here, and at first I thought it was grass, but it's not. They're like these just like tiny, tiny, tiny little flowers. Some of them have like purple flowers on them, but they're over the whole thing, which is really lovely, and just like opening out into this beautiful space. It's quite wet in this bit. I think it's more shady, which is quite nice, but I was just thinking like the smell in here is very different. It doesn't have that jungle smell. I don't know if it's because it's the different types of plants or whether it's a bit more open, so like things are kind of, the water's evaporating a bit more, whereas in like the rainforest walks everything's just more wet, it's more dense, so it all stays in there. But this doesn't have that kind of jungle smell. Doesn't also smell like a forest in the UK. That would be more like a, how would I describe that smell so it doesn't sound gross, like a damp, muddy, earthy smell, and this doesn't really have it. I guess I could smell the ground, but then I might get stared at. But it's just got a fresh air smell. I guess it's a nondescript, nothing kind of smell. But I'm just standing here for a few minutes, listening to the sounds. Cicadas. If I remove those, it's actually very, very quiet. Like I think in the UK you'd hear like a few more like coots. They kind of make a cuckoo, cuckoo, which I have heard a few of. But it's getting later in the day, so I think there's probably more birds awake and active in the morning, and in the evening Coney Island is open 7:30 till 7:30 in the evening. So I think if I came at those times I would sort of hear different wildlife, because I know there's loads of wildlife in here. It's just all hiding. I was surprised by how few people were walking around. If you're free midweek and looking for solitude, this is a great place to wander. I took some time just to stop and listen, imagining the familiar sounds I know from the UK.
It was a chance to simply enjoy being present in the moment without rushing to the next thing or place.
Just like that, I've come out of the end of that little kind of cross section on Coney Island, and straight away reminded that I am definitely in Singapore, because there is an enormous monitor lizard just like sunning itself next to the reservoir, which looks absolutely beautiful today. Like, the sky is blue, the clouds are fluffy, the water looks really, really lovely. People cycling over there. It's just one of my favorite views in Singapore. But I'm gonna head back into the British forest and yeah, snake my way back round. Well, hopefully not any snakes. Well, you do get snakes in the UK. Wind my way back round and yeah, I'm going to go and explore some other British things today in Singapore. I can hear so many birds, but I cannot see a single one of them. I can just hear this whole noise of them over there. They sound different to birds that I've heard elsewhere. I can't see a single one. Not one. And every time I talk, they stop making a noise. Maybe I'm not destined to be a bird watcher, because I thought being a bird watcher would be quite a nice way to spend retirement. But I don't know if I'd be any good at it. I could be a tree watcher. Maybe that's the thing. So our channel is about finding the wonder in everyday life, and you know, this for me is about combining two places that I love, you know, in the UK and in Singapore. And as I was walking along this side, I just spotted some ivy over there growing. Ivy grows all over in the UK. I remember my other grandparents' house, it was all over the front of it. It looked beautiful. And I like that they look kind of like little hearts, which is quite cute. So yeah, I just spotted that. So when you do go out, make sure you stop and you look and you enjoy the journey of where you're getting to as well, not just, you know, the destination of a place. I think it's really important to look at what you can see along the way too. This is from the pine trees I was talking about. It's very brittle, just kind of falls off, almost Christmas tree-like. Yeah, quite thin branches, and then you've got all of these like needles at the end. But yeah, this is what's attributing to it feeling very British for me, these things. And just like that, I'm at the end. Coney Island is quite big, but lots of the other bits kind of go closer to the sea, and I just kind of wanted to stay in the trees today and soak up all of that. So yeah, I am quite hungry now. I'm gonna head to my next British destination. I've been looking forward to this one all morning, mainly because I'm very hungry. So I met up with Tia. You might have seen her on one of our food things before. We had brunch, and we have come to have the English experience. We've got a full English breakfast here with a hash brown, and then a cup of tea. Cup of tea. All the cheers. Cup of tea, and then what were these called again? I've forgotten.
It's a spice bag.
A spice bag. You said this was an Irish thing, right?
I believe so. And
Okay.
I've wanted to have it for a long time and never
So
did.
there you go. It's just smelling of curry sauce. So it's, yeah, we are sitting outside. We're pretending that this is the River Thames in London.
Yeah.
There's a very angry sounding crow over there. I don't know if you can hear that. But the pub is behind us. What did you think of inside?
Very accurate.
Yeah, because you've been in the UK recently.
Yeah.
You were more recent than I have. I haven't
That's
been
true.
in a pub for like 5 years.
Oh, I feel like the last place I was in the UK was a pub, probably.
Pub.
But yeah, spent 3 years there, so can conclude that this is quite accurate.
It's very accurate. Some of the chairs to sit on are actually old church pews. We've got benches, what do they call them? Pub stools. These ones spin, which is
Yeah.
Really random, but they're spin, which is quite fun, and they do look like legit pub things, and I do feel like I stepped straight inside an old-style British pub. Like,
Yeah.
the lights, there's carpet on the floor in some of it, and yeah, I would say I felt very British sitting in there, which is really, really cool. I'm hoping that the food is going to live up to it. I said we're kickstarting the food channel. This won't be on it, but you can check out our brunch if you want like a brunchy thing that we did. But what do you want to try first?
The spice bag.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's got fries, and you said this was maybe chicken.
Yeah, so, I should have done my research. My understanding of this is it's an invention by Irish Chinese takeaways. And it's a bunch of like very typical takeaway ingredients like bell peppers and then salt and pepper spice and then some chicken bits fried.
The curry does remind me of fish and chip shop chip curry sauce.
Yeah,
But you're never
that's
sure
what
what's in it or what kind of curry it would be. But
and then it did arrive in a bag
yes.
and then they took it out.
Out.
The bag.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It is chicken.
They're good.
Oh.
Okay.
Good job. My favourite sauce to have with full English breakfast is actually shallow cream. Nobody knows what that is. It makes me a little bit sad. Okay, that curry sauce is like legit UK curry sauce.
Nice.
Now for me, the one thing that I will tell you guys about before we're just going to switch off and eat, the bacon and the sausage has to be the thing for me.
Yeah.
It has to be legit. So
What kind of sausage do you like?
it has to be a pork sausage.
Okay.
And like thick cut bacon, quite salty because I like to add a lot of sugar into my tea. This goes back. Again, I was talking when I was walking around Coney Island. Like those, like the sound of gravel made me feel like I was in the UK. And for me, a bacon sandwich with a cup of tea that my nan used to put 5 sugars in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I have bacon, I just want a really sweet cup of tea. I could never drink it any other time of the day.
Okay.
But super salty bacon, super sweet tea just takes me straight back to my nan's house. Oh, yeah.
Do you ever call it a bat or a butty?
Bacon butty, if it's just like the soft floury.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like a bit more bread to be able to make a bacon sandwich. That's what I tend to do. It looks look good.
Okay. Yeah.
And I like, it's not fancy. Like, you would not get avocado on an English breakfast in a pub. I think if you ask for avocado, they would shout you out, right? It's just not a thing. Like, you need fried stuff. The only vegetable on this are mushrooms and tomato, but they too are fried. And
Yeah,
that's
I
the
wouldn't
thing, like,
class them as a vegetable.
no. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Oh, that's good sausage. If I ignore the thick humidity, I could almost be sitting in a London pub.
If you take away the heat and the crow, I guess you get crows.
I'd be more like a pigeon, I feel.
Yeah.
That sausage is good. I would say
Very
if
good
you're
sausage.
missing British breakfast or you want an experience of British food, most of it I will say you can probably skip over.
There isn't that much there anyway.
I would say you've got your full English breakfast, you've got roast dinners and fish and chips, all of which you can get here.
Yeah.
And if the others taste as good as this, I think you're in for a good taste of what a British breakfast tastes like.
I was really hoping to try a Scotch egg here.
Oh yeah.
They were out, so you didn't try and let us know.
Yeah, you can try this Scotch egg now. Awesome. I am going to keep pretending I'm in the UK. We're going to catch up because we haven't seen each other for a while. And yeah, I'll show you some more British stuff later.
Oh, that's good.
How much are you hoping on getting? Now in M&S looking at some British snacks. Hi, Tia's still with me. We're full, but we're looking at snacks. So M&S do these like tubs or a bucket, I think is the proper term. Sorry, just covering that over your face. Rocky Road, what have you got?
I've got a chocolate cornflake.
Chocolate cornflake. I mean, in the UK, these would be, how much do you reckon?
I've never bought one
Oh.
full price.
£4 or £5? No. So we were just talking about yellow stickers. They reduced these with yellow stickers. Now that you mention it, I don't think it's much of a thing here.
No.
UK supermarkets, you go late at night, everything's reduced
Yeah.
to like silly amounts. I cannot quite justify spending the amount that this costs. I have picked up some walnut whips, haven't had those for years probably, but I can't quite justify this, I'm afraid, M&S. Sorry, M&S. But yeah, there's not a lot of British food that I actually miss, apart from kebab. Like a proper
Very British.
doner kebab is something I am terribly missing. But yeah, in terms of snacky stuff, I think I prefer Singapore snacks. Yeah, I think I feel better at... I think because I don't like sweet stuff. All of this is very sweet, and I would rather have like Old Chanky, curry puff, like that kind
It's a bit
of
more substantial
savoury.
as well.
Yeah, more substantial. Maybe I just eat a lot. Maybe that's what it is. I just eat a whole bucket of chocolate. But
That's what they're meant for, to be fair.
maybe there was one
what's
thing
a
that I wanted to
serving?
try and find. It's a serving, a tub, right?
Yeah, surely.
21.
21.
Nah,
21
two.
servings in the year.
I would say two. 2 servings. But there is one more British thing that I want to try and find, so we're going to go to the bakery. Classic Victoria sponge.
Classic.
So tea I found what I was looking for, it was a sponge cake. I feel like this is a very British thing to have with a cup of tea at the end of the day. I'm going to return my classic walnut whips and get this, and I'm going to enjoy this with a cup of tea later with the family. Yeah, like I said, I would normally make something like this, but we don't have an oven anymore, which, yeah, makes me a little bit sad. Tia suggested making it in the air fryer. But I don't think it's going to come out right, and yeah, I think this will be a nice way to end a very British day. So, yeah, we're going to wrap up this, pay for this, and then head home and get the kettle on. Debbie stole my filming spot, so oh no, she's now moved over here. I think she just wanted to be near the cake. Debbie has accidentally eaten cake before. I was making Aspen's birthday cake and I had it out on the coffee table because I needed the fan to keep all the icing cool. And I just popped into the kitchen to go and get something, put the cake in the middle, and I came back and she had chewed off a good chunk of cake. Thankfully she was fine, but I was very upset and very annoyed that she had chewed half of the cake. So she does know what cake tastes like, and I think she wants a bit of this, but this cake is mine for sure. So like you saw, I was making the tea with a teapot and all things like that, and that's kind of, I guess, more of like an afternoon tea way to do it. Usually I just put the tea bag in the cup and, you know, add the milk and kind of leave it to brew in there, but actually like stopping, taking time to, like, you know, put the milk in the milk jug and then to brew the tea in the teapot, like, is really lovely. And then of course cake. So classic Victoria sponge. I know it's not going to be quite as good as the one that, or definitely not as good as the one that Jonty's mum makes, because that is amazing, but let's see. It's good that it's got actual cream, not some of the cream you get in Singapore because of the heat. Like, it just, dairy cream just doesn't work, it just turns sludgy. And yeah, when the first time I made a birthday cake here, it was just an absolute disaster because I just could not get the cream to do anything apart from just be this big sloppy mess. But this cake with this cup of tea and the British day I've had has been really nice, actually. We haven't been to the UK since we left, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's time that we pay a visit. I'd like to go back at Christmas because then more people are off work and all the kids' cousins and everything are off school, so we'd be able to spend a lot more time with people if we went back at Christmas time, but we shall see. So I think, yeah, for me, I feel like I have had a British day in Singapore, and yeah, if you want to try and have a British day in Singapore as well, obviously the heat, as you can tell, I've changed. I came home, had a shower, and yeah, got sorted with my nice cup of tea and cake, and yeah, it's been a nice British day. I think the massive part that stops it being British is obviously the weather, but I like that, so yeah, I can't complain. So I'm gonna enjoy my tea, put my feet up and have a cup of tea. It's a phrase in the UK. Come in, put your feet up, have a cup of tea. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reclaim my spot on the couch, tea, cake, watch something. Debbie's probably gonna sit with me, mostly for the cake, but I'm not gonna let her have any. And yeah, I'm just gonna chill. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, thumbs up, drop me a comment, all those kind of things, and we'll see you soon. Bye.